Over the years, our state has shifted the responsibility for funding education from the state, which the Constitution directs, to local property taxpayers. And with that, we find wide disparity between the wealth in one part of our state or school district to another. And that leads to inequities in the resources that are put behind education for those students. So we really need a model that changes that and looks at research evidence to say what is the cost of providing the resources for the district based on the students in that district. It's a fairer way of looking at it, and it provides an adequacy target for every school district so they know if they're paying too much or too little for the quality of education for their students. And the governor has indicated because of these issues, what was added to the bill in the last minutes is a reason that he's going to veto it. So I think we need to look at where there was compromise between Republicans and Democrats and build upon those elements and look at the issues of pensions, which was added for the Chicago School District. Look at that as a separate bill and take it out of the model, which kind of distorts and shifts more money to Chicago from the rest of the school districts. Again, the issue is fairness, and that's what the governor has raised, is the formula that was passed in SB 1 is really distorting it. And you look at pensions, you look at the Chicago block grants, which add about $200 million more to Chicago than what is justified based on their student needs. And you look at mandates. Mandates that are allowed in the city of Chicago are not allowed in districts across the state. So we're looking at fairness, again, for all elements dealing in education and trying to get what's fair for each student. Well, what we've done in the bill that Senator Jason Barrickman and I have introduced in each chamber is to take out those elements that were added at the last minute and come back to the agreement that was made between Senate Republicans and Democrats that really moves us forward with 27 elements that are based on research that produce an adequate target for funding education in every school district. And we treat the pension issues for Chicago, which need to be treated, we treat those separately in a different bill and try to bring fairness there and perhaps add the Chicago pension costs with the state teacher retirement system costs in a different model. And then we also added the mandate relief that allows districts around the state to determine if unfunded mandates are an issue. They can choose through an elected board to do away with those issues in their school districts. As the state picks up more of the cost as new money comes in, that gives local property taxpayers the option of asking their school districts to lower their property taxes. That way there is more money, and it's coming from the state as the Constitution envisioned back in 1970. Well, there's never any assurance of that because it is a bill, it is a law that the legislature can change in the future. But if we rely on evidence-based funding, if we rely on the state putting in the additional funding, if we give local property taxpayers the option of asking their school district for some relief, I think we're going to find a system that is much better than what we have today. It's going to be more equitable for all students, and it's going to address the different needs that we have in the various parts of Illinois. I think as we move forward, we need to look at a compromise fashion from the needs that all areas of our state has. Illinois is a very diverse state.